Are you sure? Oh, we could shut off my TV. I just realized it's still on. Do you want to grab the remote?
Yeah, wrong channel. Man.
Wrong channel. This isn't me.
Oh, you're peeking.
Next to the cup.
You might want to turn your mic down, by the way.
I can't turn my mic down anymore.
Oh, well, you were peeking hard.
Oh, well, I can't, but...
Yeah, look. You're
the ones that are stacking.
You're really loud.
There you go. There we go. Perfect. So what is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 14 of Uncalled For. Every single week, we all get together and talk absolute garbage. If you would like to turn me down, you are more than welcome to stand up and go do so. Okay. You're the only one that's actually in a position to...
If it's good for chat. Then
I'm actually significantly louder, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a bit. I thought it was fine to sound check, but we don't have Tim because...
Tim's dead.
Well,
Tim has died again.
Actually, Tim's cat has been put down today, so he wasn't able to make it. He's spending time with his wife.
Yep. Sad
kind
day.
of grieving.
Blackie.
So I told him,
but
obviously... He sent me a text earlier. He goes, I'm a game time decision for tonight. I'm like, absolutely not. Just don't even bother. Like, just stay home, be with your wife, hang out. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously, losing a family member is essentially how I see it. So... I was like, you know what? We'll do this show without him. We've done shows without him before. It's not the easiest thing. He obviously is a huge help. Yep. But we can go ahead and do a show.
Very underpaid staff.
Extremely underpaid staff. Considering the hosts don't get paid.
Wait, you guys get paid?
No, we don't. That's the problem, is we don't.
We don't even get ice cream cones, man.
It's true.
Hey, speaking of getting paid, though, there is a subscribe button now on Twitch, and you guys are able to subscribe or cheer bits. So... if you want a special shout out after
our pay.
If you want a special shout out at the end of the episode, we're going to be doing shout outs to every new subscriber and anyone who cheers or anything during the show. But otherwise, I guess we could just get right into it. Dan, would you like to go first and we'll just kind of work this way down the table?
Jump right into it.
Yeah. Well, mine is, I don't know, I was just kind of thinking about this for a while. I don't know. How you doing? Not a good flavor, man?
That's not... Here.
Oh, I just have a blast in my mouth.
Let's see it.
That's not what I expected.
I need to wait. My palate needs to cleanse.
It wasn't what I expected it to taste like.
That may cleanse your palate.
I'll pass this off to you if you want to have a try. I'm not a fan.
I'm not either.
Does it taste like Ryan Reynolds?
I don't think it tastes like Ryan Reynolds. I just don't think it tastes that good. Apparently, it's cotton candy, watermelon, and vanilla from what I saw online.
I don't actually mind it. It just tastes like cotton candy to me.
Yeah, which I'm not a huge fan of anyways.
Literally just cotton candy. G Fuel.
Ooh, like that. I'll probably finish it because I just don't want to waste the money.
It's not terrible, to be honest. It's just cotton candy.
I mean, if you like it, you guys can have it. I don't care.
I'm good, man.
Okay, then
That's what I felt as well.
I guess I'll try to finish it.
Maybe Ryan Reynolds tastes like cotton candy.
I mean... think so. Is that your topic? Is what does Ryan Reynolds taste like?
No, no. But that's just kind of where we went, you know? But, no, my topic has to do with some video games.
I love it.
You know? I don't know about you guys, but I found myself going back on YouTube and watching, like, trailers and stuff all the time. Like, even old school stuff, reactions to trailers and everything. Yep. I'm weird like that.
No, but I do that too.
I kind of thought, like, way back when, I don't know, early 2000s, up until maybe 2010 or something. Do you guys remember actual commercials for video games, like on TV?
Some.
A couple, yeah.
Like they used to be a bigger thing. Now they like don't exist anymore.
Yeah, no. I remember some of them.
It's purely like cinematic trailers online now.
Yeah.
Because
Hi, Ranger.
The new... Yeah, leave the dog alone, dude.
He licked my leg. I was petting him.
Sure he didn't drool?
I think. Anyways.
But the new, population of kids and generation or whatever don't watch too much TV, right? It's just streaming and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's just like straight to online from E3 or whatever they release. The company releases it. So I don't know. I was just remembering.
I mean, they do have
commercials
on TV though. I mean, there was a Call of Duty commercial during the Super Bowl, and they for the huge events they
very big stuff.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's definitely
like I remember like
rare.
Every decent sized video game had like a gaming commercial on TV back
in
the day, like when I was in high school and stuff.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It was just a weird thought. I guess. Do you have any like memorable commercials or cinematic trailers that you guys like or remember specifically?
Now, are we talking from E3 or is this just specifically
like TV? Like you saw.
TV or online too. You know,
Okay.
anything, even new stuff too.
Okay,
Like,
because
I have so many because
Yeah.
I love that kind of
Deep,
stuff.
then I got a lot.
Like,
now are we going cinematic trailers or just anything to
like
do with
not
the game?
in the game necessarily, but like it was released for the game. You know,
Okay,
or
because
to hype it up before a new expansion or something. You know.
okay, because I'm not gonna lie, I teared up when Elder Scrolls 6 had that little teaser
Shut up.
during E3. So.
Don't even open your mouth anymore.
So for
I
me,
knew
the
you'd say
first
that.
things that come to my mind are, like, if we're talking about
Because
TV
he's
commercials
not
from back
wrong.
in the day,
It's because he's
the
not
Ruby
wrong.
and Sapphire commercials. Like
I don't
when
remember them.
They were like, they're really cool. It's like a kid like in the wild and he's seeing all the new Hone Pokemon. It was really cool.
Okay.
I very distinctly remember that, and that's just nostalgic for me because that was the first Pokemon.
There was
game
a
I played.
bunch of like super like messed up and like funny ones from Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah,
Like the first Smash Brothers
Yep.
and like old school Mario and
Yeah.
stuff were crazy
Yep,
weird.
talking about
Oh, like
Pokemon.
the reveal stuff for Smash
Yeah.
2 are always
and
super
like
cool.
the Pokemon one for the original ones was like they got all on the bus and the bus driver got off and crunched them into the
Yeah,
like Game
they're
Boy.
weird.
Yeah, but
That kind of stuff.
so like if we're going that route, then yeah, that'd be mine. Probably that I think of the most. But it's just trailers in general. I gotta go with Smash. Like every
reveals are
Smash
really
trailer
cool.
reveal
I get
is
it.
so hype.
Lots of hype.
And literally like
I
when
watch reactions
Yeah,
all the
when I
time.
watch reactions for trailers, it's always Smash reveals. Like seeing when Sans was added as the Mii fighter was amazing. Like people were just freaking out about that. Seeing Banjo added, that was incredible. Like,
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth, like
You hear that music and it was like, oh.
yeah, yep.
That was
I
fun.
wish I got my reaction on that because I was
Right.
actually coming home from work, and I was like, "Oh, the Smash character is revealed." So I was watching it, and in the car I'm driving home, and I hear, da 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 da. I was like, "No way, Sephiroth!" Because I
What?
just played I just played Final Fantasy
Mhm.
VII, like just beat it a couple months before that, so I was like pretty hyped for that. But yeah, definitely Smash for sure.
Yeah. You guys remember anything specifically for you?
So it's not like
I'll wait until last because I have so much to talk
okay, so
about.
ones I always found funny. I guess there aren't any like ones I specifically remember and seeing on TV or whatever. But the ones that always make me laugh.
Like not even Skyrim.
Well, I mean, I remember that, but you're gonna tell me to shut up. So,
Well, the reveal was actually something unlike your Elder Scrolls 6 garbage.
no. So, anyways, what I was gonna say though is the like Madden commercials are always hilarious on TV, or they used to be really funny. The NBA 2K commercials are like the sports game commercials are always funny because I'll get pro athletes to help
Yeah.
out, and like it's just the most ridiculous thing.
The funniest one I can think of now that you bring it up is the weird PSP one where it was like the two squirrels. Do you guys remember that?
I don't remember that.
It was it's so stupid. It's like these like hand-drawn squirrels. It looks like just somebody sketched them up on a piece of paper, and they're like talking to each other, and it's so funny. I don't know why, and it makes nothing. It has nothing to do with the PSP, but it's literally just the PSP sitting in the background, and you see these two like hand-drawn squirrels just talking to each other. It's so funny.
Now, are they talking to each other like in Animal Crossing, where it's like?
No, it's like they're talking. It's like
I kind of remember that.
I'll have to show you guys.
I don't
something
remember
about
that.
but
It's so funny.
Now, where do the squirrels live?
I don't know. I mean,
Do they have apartments?
I don't know if that's necessarily relevant. But
No, but he should get the reference I'm making.
I understand what your reference is, but we don't need to go
yeah,
there.
we don't need to go there.
but yeah, like I remember PlayStation was weird back in the day with their commercial. Like was it the PS3 with the baby like sitting in that like room? Do you guys remember that?
I
one?
Was
don't
that
remember a
PS2?
lot of these.
Was that PS2?
I think so. Because it's
PS2.
the older one, I think.
It was like some weird. It looked like some horror movie.
They
Like,
did
It was
weird
crazy.
stuff back in the day.
But yeah,
Is Ranger
but-
licking himself? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, but that's not Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Why? Why did that have to be said?
Because we were talking about
You
what
said it.
Ryan Reynolds tasted like, so I made the joke.
Okay, whatever, bud. Whatever.
Well, as for me, I really don't remember many of them on the old TV. Like most of them that I watched were on like streams of like E3 or something
That's
like
what they
that.
all are now, you know?
Yeah.
Like those are the ones I remember the best.
Sure.
Like I used to remember when they announced like Skyward Sword. Like I'm a Zelda fanboy, as you
Yep.
guys know. So like those are some that stick out the most to me, as well as some of the Final Fantasies, so on and so forth.
Was there a teaser kind of for Breath of the Wild before?
Yes.
Yes, there was.
Was it like not gameplay, like an actual kind of just trailer for it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember
it was.
it,
So it was kind of like, it was a cinematic trailer of like Link running on a horse. He was like riding away from a guardian, and it was like chasing him, and then like the ending shot is him pulling out an ancient arrow and shooting it in the eye or whatever.
Why do I have
Interesting.
no memory of any of these?
Because
you're a
Breath of the
scrub.
Wild reveal was like 2014, 15,
I think it was 15.
15.
I may
I
be
don't-
wrong on that though.
It
So
was
do not quote
It was
me
a
on that
long
one.
development cycle for that game, so I know
It took a long
It was a
time.
few years
If
before the game
if
came
Weston's wrong, everyone tweet at him and yell at him for being stupid.
That happens all the time. Well, for me being
People
wrong.
tweet at you all the time. And
No,
tell
me
you,
being wrong happens all the time. So if they do that, then they're going
And
to
if
be
he's
on me all the
right-
time.
Tweet at Jordan and say, "We all know you're stupid."
they actually do that.
Continue.
Like that's nothing new. No, it's weird. I don't remember like hardly any video game commercials. This is the weirdest thing. I don't know why.
No,
It's just like I'm sitting here trying to think about it, and I can remember old Mountain Dew commercials. I can remember, like trailers for Star Wars movies, but for some reason I can't remember any video game commercials other than like what I saw at E3 sometimes, and that's so weird to me.
Yeah, I
It's
think-
just like blocked out of my head.
Yeah, I think the most nostalgic ones are the ones from like the 90s and stuff, where it was
A lot of it, yeah.
like I didn't grow up on those ones, but like I remember I've seen them on YouTube and that like people
Yeah.
reacting to them, and like Mario, was it Mario Party 2 maybe or 3? He's like
They're all the.
it's
They
like
did some stupid
yeah,
Mario
it was
Party
like
ones, too,
weird,
that were
like
funny.
he's like basically it's Mario. He brings the Mario Party to these kids, and they start playing it, and then the cops knock on the door and arrest Mario. It's
They're all like mixture of
Range.
like live action and Mario and
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Those are weird ones.
Yeah.
Ranger,
What are you doing?
what are you doing, man?
What you doing, baby?
You know
Huh?
you're supposed to be under the table. Just lay there.
He wants to take part of the show. Here, do you want a mic?
What do you gotta say? Profound.
That doesn't taste good. Doesn't taste like Ryan Reynolds. But no, you guys remember all the like there's a soldier in everyone COD commercials?
Oh
where it's,
yeah, I
like,
remember
all
those.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
I remember
normal
those.
people like Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant and Jimmy Kimmel and stuff. Like those are
Yeah.
funny,
Yeah.
but I guess if we're going total commercial, I'm a huge Halo fanboy. When Halo 3 first came out, there was a trailer called Believe, and it was, oh man, gets my heart racing sometimes, but it was the huge like diorama that they created of this huge war of all this Halo and everything.
I remember that one.
And it goes through all of it. It's like somber music and stuff. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop, please.
He wanted to give me a high
Uh-huh,
five.
Sure. And it finally like, goes through all these battles and everything on top of the mountain, and it's like a brute chieftain holding Master Chief like
Yes.
dead, and he's holding a plasma grenade, and it turns on, and his head like looks up and stuff, and it ends. It's like sick, so
Yeah,
sick.
no, I remember that one.
That one was awesome.
That was
Okay.
an awesome.
Check
trailer.
that one out, guys, if you are interested in that kind of stuff. I don't know, might not be. I'm kind of weird, but
Yeah, that one was awesome.
it was sick. That was like the real, like TV commercial, I guess, that really,
Yeah.
really stuck with me. But
He's gonna knock over the camera. Just
oh
wait.
man, I hope not.
He is so gonna knock over the camera.
This is when we push him outside the door and close the door.
Do you want me to get
Can you hear that, guys?
Get him out.
Oh no,
Now you
no.
can.
I see the volumes shifting with every scratch.
But
Do you have
He
anything
did
to
not
say?
knock it over.
he didn't. I'm very surprised. This was a bad idea.
This was a
But,
bad idea.
What?
No.
Having Ranger in here?
With new ones, I've noticed kind of that they really expand upon like the lore of the video games and like get you invested in characters and stuff. One company, I mean, I don't like this company, especially now. Activision Blizzard, when it was just Blizzard,
Yeah.
they knew how to do good cinematic stuff.
Overwatch.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So good. Like, there's so many out there too. Dragons, all that good stuff. Yeah, watch those. They really get you invested in the characters. It tells you a lot about the lore of the story, which I think is the best part of Overwatch.
Yeah, which I'm.
I don't even really like the video game that much, but the characters and the story is
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's why I'm super hyped for 2, and they're actually doing like a story mode.
That's right.
Right.
They are having Overwatch 2, aren't they?
Yep.
When's that coming out?
Probably next year.
Next year, I think.
Is it?
Blizzard, once again, World of Warcraft has fantastic cinematic trailers for the new expansions every year. Like, I look forward to that stuff. I don't even play these games, but I look forward to them because they're so cool, and the story is really cool too.
Yeah.
Same kind of with like League of Legends. They do a lot of crazy cinematics too. Once again, these are all games that I don't play. I don't like MOBAs. I don't like MMOs. But
the trailers are super
invested
cool.
in these trailers.
Yeah.
Like in these
Diablo,
characters.
I remember had some really cool ones.
Diablo
as well.
4.
Diablo 3.
Diablo 4 with Lilith.
Yes. That you'll never listen or see and listen to and experience like a more atmospheric and just crazy trailer. I think we just need to watch it after this, but that just
It was
got
a sick one.
that
I
teaser
liked it.
release was last year, I think. It was the same when they released the teaser and the trailer for Overwatch 2, which was fantastic as well.
Yes.
But that kind of stuff, it adds so much to the game. It makes me want to almost buy the game, even though I don't want this game, you know?
See, I've always been a fan of. I guess the only Diablo I played was Diablo 3, but I've always liked that. So I'm gonna get 4.
You should watch that trailer, dude. Like, watch it after this thing. It's so
Okay.
cool. But all in all, I think my favorite though ever is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, the Killing Monsters trailer. It's fantastic.
Oh, I actually remember that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that
And
one's
the other
actually
ones are
really cool.
too, but
Yeah,
that one. Oh,
yeah.
I'll just give you the lowdown quick, and then we can probably move on. But it's just Geralt and another Witcher riding up to a bunch of these Nilfgaardian troops that are about to hang this woman for crimes, who knows what. They give him gold because he slaughtered a monster for him or something. And they go away, and they're like beating on this woman, about to hang her and kill her. And he stops, and his Witcher buddy like warns him to, you know, don't get involved, everything. But he ends up getting off his horse and walking over and just destroying all of these people, and ends up almost going black. The screen going black right when he gets to like the last man. He's like, "What are you doing?" And Geralt, being Geralt, goes, "Killing monsters." So
That's
monsters, people are just as bad as the nasty monsters in the game.
Excuse me.
That's
Like
awesome.
it's fantastic. It's so good. Check it out. But
That's dope.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely. It's funny as you're saying this, like as you're talking about it, I remember, you know,
that
a lot of
trailer is
these.
sick.
That sounds dope.
There's also, I just want to point out, we got our first ever cheer of 5 bits. So that is that's the first ever bits used on this channel was from Chase. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Chase.
So we'll
Thanks.
call out more at the
You
end.
can have that title. Remember it. Put it on a resume.
First
true.
one ever. Yeah, so we'll call out the rest and like give thank yous at the end of this stream and everything. But that is the first one. So that's kind of cool.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Very nice, man. Very nice. But that's all I had, I guess. I don't know. I just get nostalgic going and watching those things.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
It's just
Yeah, just go
I don't
back
know.
and
it's
let
movies and video games with story meet in one, and it's just things I love. So
Yeah.
One more before we move on that I just remembered is the Battlefront ones, like the new one, the EA
okay,
ones.
sure.
They like, I remember, I think it's 2, has the guy like just in his office doing office work, and then he like hears something, and like a X-wing's outside of his like window, and he like jumps out the window, and like it's pretty cool, like how it's like real life. And,
Yeah.
like, pretty cool.
Or the Final Fantasy VII remake drop trailer.
that
Oh,
was
that was hype. That's 20 years of waiting, man.
that trailer is why I wanted to play Final Fantasy VII.
I
'cause, like,
still like go and watch reactions to that at E3.
Yeah, because I remember like wanting to get in Final Fantasy but being very daunted by it, and then I met you guys and you were like, you should play Final Fantasy.
And I told you,
And then
like,
I
get
watched-
over and play it.
And then I watched that trailer and I'm like, I want to play 7 remake. So I'm like, I gotta play 7 first though, because I can't just go into remake without playing 7. And so that's where my Final Fantasy kind of journey started.
And now you're finally on
And
date.
it continues today.
Yeah, I still have never played a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, you're just uncultured.
They're good.
That was
Yeah.
uncalled for.
Although they're not really
That's
your.
true.
They're not your style of
They're
game.
not
though.
your style
really
at
not.
all.
Yeah,
They're
They're
not.
so good though. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I got
That was-
started playing in date again.
It's so good.
It is good.
Remember, like, what is October? We're gonna do this, right?
Yes.
We're doing this.
This weekend.
You guys
of
having
playing
that LAN
through-
party?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're just gonna play through Final Fantasy VIII together.
It'll be really cool.
It's
Is if
gonna be
you if one of you guys streamed it on this channel so people could experience it with you.
I'd be down.
Cool.
I could bring my computer.
If we have
do
a
it.
setup somewhere for it,
I
I'd
mean-
probably have to be at the church.
Yeah, I could bring my computer and then we can just stream it and people can tune in and watch.
I'd be down.
So
I mean, just give the more content on this channel, the better.
yeah.
But
So we'll look
I'm
forward to
down.
that. We
Fine.
might do that in the
Yeah.
future.
That'd be cool.
But-
Just some bros enjoying a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Well,
So
Wait, does that
Jordan.
mean we got to play 15 at some point doing that?
I mean, I would, I guess. I'd rather
mean-
play You gotta play through 9 after 8, though.
I do.
You do.
I'm just saying,
I
'cause
love
that's the
9.
bros
9's
journey.
really good. Yeah.
You should also play
The
through.
final bros journey.
The final
It's true.
bros journey is 15.
But you should also play through 6. It's actually one of my favorites.
10's
so.
worth it. What?
Okay.
Worth watching.
Yeah, we'll have to get to that. So look out for that in the
I also
channel.
enjoyed
sometime.
5, though. A lot of people weren't the biggest fans of that one.
And when does that come out then? So we can.
All those old ones are.
Well,
Now
8's
remastered
out.
on
We're just
PlayStation.
trying
8's
to plan
out.
a
I
day
know,
where,
but
like,
they're also
me
expensive for what
or
they're
where Dan
actually.
can take off work so we can actually do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I have,
yeah, we'll
I
keep
have
you guys
2 weeks and
posted.
3 days of vacation.
We'll definitely keep you guys
Okay.
posted if that's going to come to the channel. So
Yeah,
I
because
mean-
I would be down for this because it's going to be so fun.
And quite honestly, my students would love me if I just told them one day, yeah, this Friday, just take it off. My students would not cry once.
Heck yes.
What you should do is tell your students, be like, hey, if you want extra credit, use your Twitch Prime sub on Huge Media Studios on Twitch.
No, I'm not going to use my position as an instructor to do that.
you could tell them to
But
at least follow.
You can't offer them extra credit. Just say, you might gain some favor in my class. It's very vague. Doesn't mean anything, but it might get them.
True. Very true. But Weston, you want to?
All right.
Should we move on? And
Speaking
Pick your
of
topic
my
up?
students, that's actually what kind of inspired my topic today. For the past week and a half-ish, I've had non-stop emails from students asking me, like, what kind of components do I need in laptops? What kind of components do I need in a computer? What do I need for this class? What do I need for this? Hey, I'm actually not in your program, but I know that since you teach the subject, could you recommend what I would need in a computer to do this? I have answered so many emails about what to put into a computer that I figured I'd come here, I'd kind of explain it to, discuss it with some of my comrades here. Dan here's going to
Yeah,
sit
what's
off on
up?
the side and he's going to draw his nice
I'll try to take
artworks.
I don't know. We'll see
But-
what happens.
I
Then
feel like
maybe
this
I
is
can-
going to
I
be a
can't
very
really draw, so we'll see
me
what
and
happens.
you heavy
It
conversation.
really is.
I feel like the wings are going to kind of,
Get some rest in here.
Yeah.
Some scrap here.
Oh, and he's finding the accordion Post-its.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
There we go.
Logan has more paper than you.
Now it's Logan art.
That's not
You
right.
see,
It's
here's the-
smaller and it's yellow. I don't care.
Okay. Anyways, what exactly, Ranger? That's not a laser pointer, bud.
The thing I always need to explain to my students is first and foremost is the fact that instead of asking me, like they're often asking me what do they need, it's like the first thing I need to tell you is there's not a specific computer that I can recommend. It's what is in the computer. What are the actual specifics? What are the technical specs that they need?
Yeah.
So first thing I tell them, if we're going to be in the computer programming class, they get one responsive course. And if they're in the game design class, they get another. If they're in
Yeah.
the game design class, I start with the GPU. If they're in this computer programming, I start with the CPU and then RAM. Because depending on what you're doing, they're
You
very
want
different.
the RAM.
No matter what you are,
You need
want RAM.
dedicated wham.
Dedicated.
Oh, you need more than just the dedicated RAM.
Dedicated wham to Sorva. Don't forget.
Gotcha.
Memes never die.
But
For
regardless,
Jordan.
so
Not for you.
if you are going to be doing lots of actual work on a computer, the first thing I'm going to recommend is to look at the CPU. The more cores, the more you can do at one time. What you should do is you should imagine each core as being an individual employee in an office. Okay? The component they all need is a mouse. Actually, that's not entirely true.
Trap hats suck.
I was actually going to say there are also eye tracking stations that I've used in the past.
Okay,
They suck,
bud.
but you don't need a mouse. You see, you're saying they need it. It is preferable to have it, but that is not a requisite. A CPU, that is requisite. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. I just love how that got you fired up.
I'm sorry. I deal with this for my students all the time.
Like the fact that out of everything that could have been said, that's what got you fired up.
I have students who ask these questions all the time, so I'm always ready with these responses. You know?
Yeah.
And also, I do train my students to go through everything without even touching their mouse.
Do you train in the mountains?
Yes. I take them into the mountains of Iowa Lakes Community College, and I make them train without using mouse.
Now, where are those at? Because, and also, wouldn't it be mice?
Actually, no. You would think it's mice. However, in computer science terminology, it is actually mouses because they are not proper mice. Does that make sense? Also, another thing that really got me about computer science was typically if you say like there's an index, what would you call the plural? You would say they're indices. However, in computer science, you actually call them indexes, which is really weird. It messed with me.
Makes perfect sense to me.
So, yeah, there are some things that just get me. Okay,
Weston is going to be so mad at me by the end of this.
What else is new?
But regardless, so the more cores you can get, the better. Would you agree with that so far?
Yes, absolutely.
And then if
to a certain extent.
There is a point where they have discovered that if you have too many cores, it takes too long for them to actually communicate with each other and actually slows everything down.
Because it depends on what you're doing. If you're strictly gaming, I'd rather have, 8 cores at a higher clock speed than 32 at a slower. So it depends on what you're using the computer for itself.
And how many things you need to do at once. If you're really just doing the one thing, yeah, you don't need a whole bunch.
Hey,
now,
hold up. Ranger, go. Go, Range. I knew he wasn't going to listen to Logan, so.
I mean, who does listen to Logan?
He's starting to cry. I don't know if you guys were able to hear it, but he was starting to whine and cry. Actually, Logan, since you're going to be quiet most of this conversation, do you want to let him out in the backyard and see if he has to pee?
Don't do that.
Do not reduce yourself to that level.
Well, someone's going to have to do it, and I just figured if you want
Maybe
someone
his owner.
Do you want someone to talk to during this conversation?
He can talk to himself.
I could talk to the audience here, My viewers are intelligent.
Okay, so as we were saying though, it depends on the use case, obviously.
You're right. For gaming or for common use, I would say 8 cores is the most anybody would actually need.
I have 12 in my computer.
I said the most that they would need. Now, could you have more if you wanted? Yes.
Did you already put them out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But what do you need? I could see you needing up to 8. I could see that. Especially if you're doing some level of editing, okay? I don't think you would necessarily need more than 8 cores, even if you're doing some level of video editing. So you
honestly, editing the videos that I do, you very easily could get away with 8 cores.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to sit here and push any further on that. The next most important component that I recommend to my students is the RAM. Okay? And I see a question here about cores or threads. I recommend cores.
Yeah, 8 cores.
What I'm going to say is this. Imagine each core as an employee in an office. And then each of the threads are kind of like a hand of what they can be doing. Does that make sense? They can, if you try to do 2 things at once, sometimes you can do it, but your brain's only thinking of one thing at a time. But if you have more cores, that's more workers in there to get more done. Does that make sense? Now, that's not a perfect analogy, of course, but that's just to kind of help you get an idea of what's going on in there. So.
And you guys know you can listen to him more than anyone because he is actually a professional instructor.
It's true. I have degrees in this stuff.
This is his speciality. Yeah, there you go. That's another word.
It is a word. You should try reading the dictionary once. It's actually not that bad.
I actually tried learning the dictionary one time. I was going to read through the whole thing, but for whatever reason, I got to N and I learned next to nothing and decided to give up.
I approve of your pun there. I approve of it. So, RAM. We're going to ram forward with this conversation.
Okay, let's do it.
So, for RAM, the more, the better, is really the simplest way to put that. For the common computer, though, do not go below 16. I know a lot of places are going to say, you can do 8 or whatever. Not on a Windows.
It's
not
like
on a Windows.
Those laptops me and you just saw at Walmart tonight with 4. They were selling laptops at Walmart with 4 gigs of RAM, and I wanted to cry, dude.
You wanted to cry? Try being me, who has to explain to students who bring in those with 4 gigabytes of RAM, that isn't actually going to cut it in this program.
Oh, absolutely not. My laptop has 16, and that's not even enough.
Mm-hmm. So, if anybody watches this, do not get less than 16 gigabytes of RAM. Otherwise, your operating system is just going to eat away at it. I know Windows likes to say, we only use a couple gigabytes of it. That is a blatant lie, okay? That is a blatant lie.
When you're talking to the audience here, are you assuming that they are gaming? Are you assuming that they are video editing?
This doesn't matter what they're actually doing. The operating system is evil when it comes to RAM. Also, if you open a Google tab,
there's also,
that is the end of the world for your RAM.
There, on the, play devil's advocate here, you could get Linux that hardly uses any RAM at all.
This is correct. However,
So-
the number of people who actually utilize Linux is less than 5%.
Oh,
of
I
the
know. I'm saying no,
users
but
in
you
the
could.
world,
Theoretically, you could get away with 8, even if you use Linux, because if you're using half a gig for RAM, that leaves
But if
plenty.
you looked at the ones that they were selling that we saw, were they using
no,
Linux?
they were
no,
Windows.
They were using Windows.
They
And
were.
Windows were going to eat away at those.
I'm just playing devil's advocate because
I get that.
you argue
That's
me all
fair.
the time, so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to kind of
And
poke
the next
holes in
thing I'm
what
going
you're
to
saying.
argue then is how many people actually even know how to use a Linux operating system?
Not me.
Exactly. I have to teach my students what Linux even is for many cases. So I'm not going to assume most people in the audience are even thinking about Linux. Now,
Yeah.
could you be? Yes, and if so, go for it. Linux is superior.
See,
Trust me.
there you go. Terraria is running a bot for my Twitch channel, and it's running a
Okay.
computer with 2 gigs of RAM, and it's only using like 300 megs.
That's because Linux is superior. Don't let anybody ever tell you any different.
I'm sorry. What do your computers run on, sir?
I actually have computers that run on different things.
Do you have a Linux computer?
Yes, I do.
I did not know that.
I have actually 2 Linux computers. One that utilizes Ubuntu. No, I got rid of the Ubuntu version. I switched off with Debian because it's going to offer me more versatility. And then I also have a Kali version.
Okay. Yeah, at some point I want you to teach me Linux because I would like to run and I know I've talked to you about this before. I want to get a NAS server set up, but I want to get one, and my plan is to get the new Ryzen 5700G or whatever. It's 8 core, 16 threads, but it has the integrated graphics, so I don't need the GPU. But I want to run a couple Minecraft servers on half of it, and then the other half would be a NAS server. So obviously needing, running VMs and stuff, Linux would probably be the way to go. So I'm gonna
it's
want
be
your
far
help.
more efficient.
I'm gonna want your help setting that up because I trust you more than anybody with this. So.
No problem. No problem. And I see here that there was an edit of 3.36 gigabytes of total RAM. Yes, that is correct. When they say 4, that's never actually truly 4 because they have a certain amount of whatever storage just dedicated to some under the hood, like firmware and stuff like that. So you never actually get that full value out of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I got 32 gigs in both of my desktops. They both have 32, and honestly, I find myself using, even on just the gaming PC, not even the streaming one, I find myself using over half of it all the time. But now, that being said, that's because like when I'm playing Minecraft or something, I usually have 8 gigs assigned to just Minecraft. So I mean that's half of it immediately gone, or half of the 16 being used is assigned to just that one program. But yeah, then Windows takes up what, usually 3.5, like 3 to 3.5 usually for Windows.
It depends on which version you have, like if it's Home or
I use Pro.
Pro.
So 3 to 3.5 probably on Windows 10 Pro.
And you can go up to 4 depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, and so I would never recommend less than 32 at this point because I find myself using more than 16 all the time.
However, you just also admitted that you have a constant running of Minecraft with 8 gigabytes in and of itself.
Yes.
Most people won't probably have that. So I can say with confidence they could probably get away with 16.
See, you can get away with it, but like you said,
But here's what I'm saying.
the more
that
the
should
better.
be the lowest that you go.
Okay, if we're talking bare minimum, yes, I
Yes.
agree. Okay,
Do not go below 16 gigabytes of RAM.
so we're
The
talking.
more you can get, though, the better.
Logan, does yours have 16 or 32? I don't remember what we put in it.
I can't remember what's on it. I think
Oh, Ranger's crying.
16.
Is yours 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
My laptop's
my
16.
regular
Yeah, 'cause
use
we only
one
got
that I
one
use,
pack. This Rams.
Okay.
my common use is going to be a 32 gigabyte RAM. My old one that I have just in case anything ever happens has 16 gigabytes. I know I have another one that I use for AI development, and it has
Okay.
64 gigabytes.
That'd be
and
nice.
it utilizes. It pushes the boundaries of those 64. Let's just say that.
I don't know if that's even gonna show up, Logan.
Oh no.
Logan drew buff Pikachu.
He works out. So
Do you even
That's-
lift, bro?
that's
Whey protein.
RAM. Let's move on to GPUs,
Okay.
because I'm sure that's something you would love to discuss as well a little bit. First off, the marketing is lying to you on some of this stuff. You don't need all the new high-end GPUs, okay? Now, I know right now there's supposedly some shortage going on and with silicon and stuff like that.
Oh, supposedly?
I
Really?
know, I know.
Never would have
But-
guessed.
the thing I'm going to tell you, you don't need the high-end stuff to do gaming. Now, if you're going to do game development, that is a different story. Okay, there's a huge difference in there. If you're trying to run Unreal Engine or Unity Engine or one of those, that actually takes up a huge level of your VRAM.
See, I'm going to put a couple of my friends on blast here because they've done this and it kind of pisses me off. They have a 2 PC streaming setup, and all they do is they stream and they game. They don't do any game design. They don't do any video work that would require the extra GPU horsepower, and they play on, maybe a 1440p monitor, right? At the most, a high refresh 1440p.
So at the most, they should have like a 3060.
There's a couple of them. I'm not going to say names, but I'm going to put them on blast. You know who you are. They bought a 3090 for their gaming computer.
I make games, and I have a 2080 Super.
And I'm sitting here like, I told them multiple times that is the biggest waste of $1,000. Like, because they spent $2,000 on these cards. I'm like, if you want the power, get the 3080. It's gonna perform in games just as well as the 3090, unless you're doing 8K gaming.
You guys can get away with a 3070 and still do a lot of game development.
I have a 2070 in my gaming computer, and that runs everything just as well as I would ever hope.
Like I said, I have the 2080 Super, and I am developing games at, the highest resolution my best monitor can handle is going to be 1440, so I'm developing it easily on that. It's tearing up the system. Like, it's so easy. He just tears through it, and it's good.
It won't brick with New World. That's true. Did you hear about that? Did you hear about it?
I heard about it.
It's actually blowing up $2,000 cards, like literally blowing them up.
That comes down to a couple different things, though.
The Steam Deck can handle it. There you go. Don't even get started.
Regardless, you don't need all that. And for the New World, that actually came down to software settings.
It did, but the fact that they were literally starting cards on fire and like causing the capacitors to explode.
They should be replacing those GPUs.
Oh, they absolutely should.
They absolutely should be.
Absolutely. It was mostly 3090s. I don't think I heard of any 3080s having that problem. I think it was just 3090s because they are taking up so much more power and they're creating so much more heat that those were the issues. But anyways, that's not here or now, I guess. That's a different topic for a different day.
That is a very different topic.
Just kind of pull us back, because we've already gone on this topic now for 15 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. And I will say storage, that's going to depend on what you're doing, of course.
Yep.
I always recommend get as much storage as you're going to need and probably double it, because you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how fast you go through that storage.
Oh, trust me, I have 6 terabytes in one of my computers, and it's almost full just because we put 50 gigabytes in every week just from this podcast alone. So that's something else I'm going to have to buy is I need to get like an 8 terabyte external drive or something. And
I will say this, like if there's one thing that I buy on a regular basis, they're new storage drives.
Well, I would recommend for anyone building a computer, and I made sure Logan did this, is get some sort of an SSD no matter what. That's what your OS goes on. And then if you have to get, like a 2 terabyte spinning drive, even minimum 2 terabyte. I mean, I wouldn't go with the 1 because at this point you can get a 1 terabyte drive for $40 or a 2 terabyte for $45.
Yeah.
So spend the extra $5 and double it, right? But so anytime I build a computer for somebody, I always make sure I'm like, hey, even if it's a 256 gig drive, get some sort of an SSD, no matter what. Put your operating system on there, and maybe like if you're streaming, put OBS on there. Your most used tasks, obviously, the most used programs. The bigger, the better on the SSD, but the most used stuff put on there, and then all your games.
I get
and
that, but also make sure they're not things that get consistently written and rewritten over and over again, because SSDs have a lifetime of how many times you can actually.
No,
rewrite
they do,
them.
and you're right, but
it's like 10 to 100,000 rewrites. It depends on the quality of the SSD.
But if you're like, let's say you're streaming, right? You don't want OBS to be using the same drive as the game, and you don't want you want to separate.
You want to.
So I always tell people take your your most used programs like an OBS Studio or something if you're streaming. Because that's, let's be real, that's what I do. And your video editor program, put it on there if you're video editing. And then if you have a big enough drive, what I do is I actually will use one as a scratch disk. So I'll load all of the stuff onto an SSD, and then I'll edit off of the SSD. And then when I'm done, I move it to the mass storage drive. So I'll keep a project on. So I mean, I know I'm going through the things quite a bit. But at the same time, it's like, you know, they're getting cheap enough now to where you can get a 2 terabyte SSD for $150, which realistically is a lot cheaper than it was. I mean, heck, if you just get the 2.5 inch, you don't even get M.2, you can get one that's 2 terabytes for like $80-$90. So that's not bad. So if you're looking at it, if you happen to kill one because you edit thousands of videos, you know, and you're gonna get your use out of that, for sure.
I was just gonna say, when we were talking about like distributing them out, just be aware that that's only if you're writing to those drives. Don't try to write to the same drive from multiple programs. Otherwise, they have to take turns because you only have one write arm per drive. Whereas everything that you're actually running on your computer is all stored in RAM at the moment in time. So like if you open up OBS, that's actually opening up and being copied into your RAM, and that's where you're actually running it. When you're running your game, you're actually copying it from the appropriate files from the hard disk into your RAM, and that's where it's actually being run. Yes. Whatever's currently being run is in RAM. That's why the more RAM you have, the better. So,
and it will just randomly access it from that memory.
That's actually not what that actually means, but you are correct. That is what RAM stands for, but that's not
random access memory. You mean
what it actually means is it can go in there and it can go anywhere.
Is that?
What? It's because
Daft Punk.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Random access memories.
But I won't take too much long. I'm going to say this in passing, though. The motherboard is also super important. I kind of glossed over it here, but do not underestimate the importance of the motherboard as well.
To an extent.
Okay, it doesn't matter how good your CPU and your RAM are. If the motherboard can't keep up with the data buses, it doesn't matter.
Which nowadays is usually not a concern.
Usually being a keyword.
So, like, I wouldn't recommend you get an A320 board, but like a B450 or something would be fine.
It should be fine.
Like, any mid-tier, like, as long as you're spending at least, I'd say, $120 or more, you'll be set. If you cheap out and go for like a $60 one.
I hate Dan. He's too good.
He's too good. I mean, he is an artist.
He is.
No.
I used to be.
See, I like that so much better, though. That's why it's free.
That's an abomination.
All right,
That's
I'm going to
beautiful.
call this for my topic, just so we can show the artwork.
I tried.
This was Dan's. Are you guys able to see this?
I didn't know we were like full on going hardcore. I would have tried a bit better.
See, Dan is a good artist.
And we need him to design emotes for this channel.
I'm very not.
Oh, they'll
Here,
go to see
do
if
you
you
want
hold it
to?
up there.
Oh, there you go.
Buff
Here, I'll let you
Pikachu.
show this one a little better.
Yeah. Wait, is that a bleach thing?
Yeah, it's Hiyori.
That's awesome. I still got your Tanaka. I'm gonna frame it.
You're gonna
All
frame
right, so
my
let's
drawing.
go ahead and
I
move
drew
on
it
to the next one for the sake
work
of
when I was
time.
bored.
Okay, should we move on to my topic then? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my topic is going to be one that will tear this group apart, I feel like, in a way.
I don't think it will.
It's actually going to divvy it kind of like... No, you're right, it will. But
I
just
drew this at work
it's going to be schism.
when I was bored.
I have it and I'm
For-
gonna frame it now.
We
Logan, he took it from me.
Okay, so last night
Moving
on my Twitch stream we were talking about musicals, and I said the bold statement, musicals suck. I have not seen one that I've enjoyed, because in my opinion, and let me go through my points before you guys start bombarding me with, because I know Dan's gonna be on my side. He said earlier he likes one. I know Logan
I'm
loves
going to
musicals.
be somewhat on your side.
I think majority you're going to
Am
be
I
on my
ever
side.
really on your side?
No, you're not. That's why I said mostly on my side.
Yeah.
And then these two both love musicals. So let me kind of like, just lay out why I think it's weird. And this is the only part, like, I don't care how good the story is. There's this one thing about musicals I can't get past. And it's the fact that everyone will just randomly start singing. Weston and I...
The whole point of a musical?
Well, I know. But, like, Weston and I walked into Dollar General today, right? And I bought some Pokemon cards while I was there. And in a musical, we would have been singing in the car about how we would have gone and got Pokemon cards. We weren't going to do that. Like, no one in real life does this.
Hey, Logan, do you want to go and sing about how we're going to go do something else?
I actually do kind of want to grab some Pokemon cards. So.
Want to sing about it on the way?
Let's do it.
So, like, no one's going to do that. And then we walk in, and, like, if we were singing about cards, and then you get the two people that were working, there's two employees, if they were singing and harmonizing with us and dancing with us. Like, in my mind, that never would happen ever. And I know there's a lot of things in movies where you can be like, well, that's not realistic. That never happens in movies, whatever. Like, you know, but in my mind, I'm picturing in musicals, like, what if I did that in everyday life? Like, that just, it wouldn't make sense. If Logan and I, you know, or if Logan went to drop off pizza, like he goes to deliver pizza to my house, and me and him started singing about the pizza, and we started dancing in my front yard, right, and harmonizing with each other, and like throwing the pizza up in the air, and like nothing happens to it. Like, it's just, in my mind, it's a weird thing, and
it's not supposed to be realistic.
I know it's not, but
can I tell you something?
It takes me away from the story, is what it does.
I get that, but you have to realize that we're looking back a long ways first, okay? And you're going to realize that what did they have? They had what are called operas. I have a question. What is an opera?
It is an obnoxious singing show.
So it's pretty much all
a repo
song,
backwards,
right?
Yes.
So musicals were a step away from that, and where they reduced the amount of music and increased the amount of actual story being. Can't really say that because
dialogue.
Dialogue. Yeah.
Dialogue.
And then our straight plays that come from that are a step even further from there into being what we know now. So what you have to realize is that was actually a stage in history. And there are some people who just enjoy it, you know?
Then I get that. Like, you know, there's something for everyone. Like, I mean, you guys all enjoy anime. I'm not a huge fan, so I get it. Like,
uncultured.
Uncultured is correct.
Yes. Opera was also like only for the high class.
This is true.
So this was a lower step down for the more common person.
It allowed more people to access the entertainment industry.
Yes, but I guess my topic, though, would just be musicals suck. Changed my mind.
Well,
The Greatest Showman was actually really good.
I was going to say there are a lot of real good ones.
And the music, it was good. Music was great, obviously, but the music also pushed the story along. Like, it added to the story. That's why it was good.
Like another
it added
one?
to the character's depth and the reason for why they were doing what
See,
they
and
were
I
doing.
haven't seen that one. I guess that's
It's got
probably...
Hugh Jackman in it, so it's good.
Okay, because, like, I've seen Grease, which is, you know, a cult classic. Like, it seems like everyone always is like, oh, yeah, I love that.
I don't like Grease.
Back when High School Musical came out, saw
garbage.
those.
Don't even
terrible,
watch.
No, they're
awful.
Great.
Shut your
I
mouth.
love High School Musical.
Okay,
You don't get
those
to talk
suck,
anymore.
Okay? No.
I love High School
No
Musical.
on those.
That's my childhood right there.
It doesn't matter. They suck. Even in comparison to other musicals, they suck.
I don't care if that's your childhood. Your childhood sucks then.
Now,
I'm talking Spider-Man cartoons, man.
Let's see. On to real musicals. Another great one was Les Mis. Okay? Or as
I
some
didn't
of
watch
people
that
miss-
whole one, and I didn't really like it that much. But
See, it's actually one of my favorites. If you actually follow through, the story is powerful. The music, like you were saying with Great Showman,
sure.
pushes it along. But I get it. The musical style doesn't always ring true with everybody.
Yeah.
Whereas
Seldom,
the actual
for me.
musical genre of The Greatest Showman was more of a poppy sound, more so than the old classical music style.
Yeah, I think
So-
when I look at musicals, I don't completely diss Jordan's opinion on this, because I think if it wasn't for, like, I've talked about this I think once about how I didn't really want to do choir, and then I ended up doing it because my football coach made me do it.
Your football coach made you do choir?
Well, he encouraged me to try it out, and I did, and then he's like, well, you've tried it once, you can't leave now. And
That just seems like it wouldn't happen where a football coach is like, hey, you should go sing.
well, the football coach, he wasn't the head, and he was also the choir director
Okay,
for
so that would...
Emmitsburg for like 40 years. And
Okay.
So anyway, so like I get that, and my opinion was like that too. Like musicals are dumb, like theater's dumb, like all that's dumb. But then I actually did it, and I was like, this is awesome. I love it.
Right.
I mean, when I watched Sound of Music as a kid, for instance, like I didn't really care too much for it. I was like, oh, it's all right, you know, it's just a kids.
we get to watch
musical.
something in class at school. That's all I
Yeah,
cared about.
but
I
then-
didn't like it.
But now, like, it's very sentimental to me because that was the one musical I was in, and I really like that story now. Like, I love that love story between the character I played was Rolf, and then Liesel is the girl's name, I think. And just that love story was cool to see, and just that's kind of where my passion for musicals and stuff came from. And yeah, Greatest Showman is great. Another great one, just to point out, is the Sweeney Todd. That one's good. I love
Season
that
Barber.
one. Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That one with
Johnny
With
Depp.
Andy Bernard?
no.
I've never actually watched Sweeney Todd.
What?
Surprisingly.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I really like it.
No, so I guess the only musicals, I guess, and this is kind of, I almost consider it a different category. Like, you have your Disney musicals, I guess.
What about your Disney animated
Well, yeah,
musicals?
that's the thing. Like, you have like your Disney animated ones, and I almost consider that to be different than if you get the ones with real people, that's the one that throws me off. But like Mulan, I loved that movie growing up.
Old school Mulan, yeah.
That is a musical.
Which I know is
Aladdin,
a musical.
Fantastic.
But once you throw real people in there, then it's just like, nope, this isn't good. And that's I can handle it when it's animated. I can't handle it when it's real people.
I guess it also takes away from it because you already know what the animated original is. You already love that. You know, that's your childhood. And
well, I'm saying it doesn't matter with what though. Like, even
Beauty and
with
the Beast comes out with the live action, like, I don't care. I don't want to see that.
I'll see. Yeah, I wouldn't even bother.
I was telling you guys Dan this last night because we went to see Free Guy. I was like,
thanks for the invite.
I kind of don't
live in Spirit
hate
Lake, dude.
the Beauty and the Beast live action as much as a lot of people do. It's not
I never watched
better
it, so.
by far. It's not better, but there is one like song and scene in there. It's like, I believe it's right when Belle leaves the Beast or whatever, and he does like the song that wasn't the original, and it's one of my favorite musical songs. Like, it's really good. So yeah, I would agree with that. Like, definitely, like, if it's a animated going into live action, I typically don't like those either. But one, was talking about animated musicals. One of the most underrated ones, in my opinion, is Hercules.
Hercules is really
That
good.
is
It was
amazing.
real.
I haven't seen Hercules since I was a kid, so
Go the
I
Distance
really
is
good.
by far one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life.
You know what? You should just go the
I think
distance
Aladdin's
and
my
watch it
favorite,
again.
with Mulan being a second, probably. Hercules is probably third.
Hercules is so good.
Another one of my favorites for the musicality of it was actually the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Really?
Oh yeah, that was.
It had some really good musical scores to it.
That was a good one.
see. But like I said, like, those are animated ones where I can get behind those, and I don't know why. My brain, when it's a cartoon, separates it differently from when it's people.
Yeah.
And so I think of the people ones as being, when you guys leave, am I going to start singing a really sad song about the podcast being over as I put things away? Like that's not going to happen.
Feels high school.
He
That
probably
that
could
logic
be
doesn't
doing-
even make sense whatsoever, though.
Well, no, but I'm saying,
think he
like,
could be doing this and just trying to make us think he
probably.
does
Well,
it.
see, I kind of get what you're saying though. Like, in animated form, it's like, okay, it's already kind of wacky. It's kind of not realistic already. I mean, you can
and it's
have, like-
already a step from reality.
Yeah, and so for them to just bust out in song isn't much to ask for.
Yeah.
But when they're like actual people acting, I can see it. I get where you're trying to come from.
Like in High School Musical, for instance, when they bust out in song in the cafeteria. You're trying to tell me
Yes.
every single person in that school happens to know the same song, same dance at the same time.
It's
They're all
not
gonna
the point. It's
they're
not
all
supposed
get-
to be realistic.
I know,
Not
but
the intent.
So stop trying to think.
I know,
think in
but
that
that's
logic
how
that
my
it
mind
is.
takes it. Is that it's like that would never happen.
First off, don't think about those at all. They're pure rubbish.
they
No,
are,
they're
they are, but
great.
that was
We
an
don't talk
example.
about that.
It was an example.
They're great.
Logan, grow up.
No, they're great. Zac Efron's best role.
No,
Gosh.
that is incorrect.
Okay, he's in
No.
Greatest Showman. Way better.
I was gonna say that
Yeah,
is
that's-
way better.
He is, Greatest Showman's best role, I think.
So
He's
you
gonna be
see, you've
Batman
already
too.
admitted
No,
you were lying
but
to your past a moment ago.
But I
okay?
still will admit I do love High School Musical, unironically. The third one's not great, but the first two,
They're
bangers.
terrible. I've actually seen the first one, and it's freaking garbage.
I didn't even make it through the first one.
See, I
All right,
sadly,
you guys know me in movies and stuff, and like,
Yeah.
don't talk during the movies because I feel that's rude to everybody who
Yes.
wants to actually watch it.
absolutely.
I made jokes and screamed and yelled and talked about everyone during the High School Musical one, like showing like it was that bad.
It's a
You guys
terrible
watching a
movie.
night?
Yeah, we watched it like a youth group movie night. Yeah, it was. I just made fun of like everyone so much.
I mean, it
I
is a
enjoy
pretty
musicals,
bad
and
movie.
I couldn't sit through it.
It was terrible.
It's just nostalgia, pretty much. I think you gotta have been growing up when those came
Sure.
out.
You
to
see,
be
if that's the truth,
fan
though,
of
does
them.
that mean it's actually worthwhile, or does that mean it's actually just crap, and you just confused yourself into thinking that it's
And
decent?
you're viewing it with rose-colored glasses. I think is
Yeah.
what he's doing.
Well, it's like, I feel like
Hey,
I'll
Logan,
probably-
first off, it's okay if you like it. I'm not going to say like you
No,
can't
no,
like
no,
it.
I
I'm
agree.
giving you a little bit of crap
no, I
here
agree.
for it.
I feel like
I'm giving crap for it.
I'm probably gonna get some heat for saying this, but it's kind of like the Pokemon anime. Like, it's nostalgic, but when you go back and watch it,
Not
it's
quite.
not. I would say Indigo League is its exception, but everything past that is kind of like it's meant for kids. You know, it's meant, and you look at it and you see.
Yeah,
that.
but it's meant for like an adventure, a fantasy adventure that is unique and like exciting for kids and stuff.
Yeah, but
and it branches all like age groups too, like how classic Pokemon is.
Yeah,
it's widespread now.
But no, that's what I'm saying.
You can't say the same thing about High School Musical. Man.
No, that's what I'm saying though. It's like my point is that they're probably not both great. Like you wouldn't look at Pokemon and say that's the best anime ever. Like nobody's gonna say that.
Back in the day, it was a cartoon on
If
anime.
they've actually watched anime, like a lot. But like High School Musical, I would never say.
But the theme song, one of the greatest ever.
Oh, most assuredly.
100%. But then, I would never say High School Musical is the best. I know it's got flaws, but it's just nostalgic.
It has more than just some
the whole
flaws.
idea of making it was a flaw.
It's great.
The conception of that idea was a flaw.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm still.
I think the only
it.
thing in High School Musical that I specifically remember laughing at, and it's the stupidest thing ever, is when his dad comes into the gym and he's like, "What the heck are those two doing in a tree?" Like, it just yells at the music teacher. The only line from that whole movie I will specifically remember just laughing. He's so pissed. What the heck are those two doing in a tree? And I don't know why. Makes me laugh. I don't know why.
I like how you remember that, Jordan.
It's the only line that I will remember, and it will
tell you anything like that from that movie.
Dude,
you gotta decide between basketball and musical, and then he decides
why not both?
Stream of both.
Yeah.
So I'll sing
stupid.
while I dribble.
He did, and I love that song.
See, and that's the step from reality that I don't like with musicals. It just like a basketball team's not gonna do that.
It's like any movie that's unrealistic.
I know, but it's
that's like that's kind of like saying, okay, well, what Space Jam came out? It's like, well, LeBron's playing with Bugs Bunny. That's stupid.
Actually, he didn't because he needed a stunt double to play with cartoons. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Even
Jordan. Even so, like that's
dumb. Jordan can't play with Looney Tunes.
And that's dumb.
So
Man's going to come and
unrealistic.
steal people's ability to play basketball just for this.
Yeah,
he
that's
can't
stupid.
stretch his arm half the court and dunk.
Yeah, like if you look at you have to like look at everything like that if you're gonna look at.
What was my one exception though? What was my one exception? Cartoons, and you guys brought up a cartoon, so that's a.
Yeah,
Actually,
Jordan a
that is
cartoon?
incorrect.
Was Jordan a cartoon?
It's easy.
When they came back to this world, were they cartoons? Like,
When
was
Bugs
the world
Bunny-
a cartoon?
No, but the most of the movie was a cartoon.
The main
with
character, was he a
characters.
cartoon?
No, it's an isekai. He's a real person.
It's true.
It's an isekai.
I don't know.
So your own argument has collapsed upon itself.
I still don't think it has.
It's okay.
Can we just forget musicals and go to Bunraku? You know what that is?
I have no idea.
That is a Japanese musical, but instead of singing, they have fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold up.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
and
awesome.
it's really cool.
That's cool. I want to see this.
I actually have. There's a movie I have. It's called Bunraku. It's with Josh Hartnett and Japanese musical artist called Gakt, and it's literally a Bunraku. They made a musical, but instead of singing, it's just cool fight scenes.
That's dope.
That sounds
We'll have to
really
watch
big.
it sometime. It's pretty cool.
That sounds
It's
epic.
like loosely based off Afro Samurai.
Is there one that we could potentially have like that isn't huge? I guess that we could almost do like a watch through and react to it.
Like a musical or a Bunraku?
A Bunraku.
I don't know.
Like just something where we could like just sit on the couch over here and we could react to it and have a
we could
watch
just
through.
watch that movie. That movie's actually pretty good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's I would say CGI is not a cartoon. Would you? It's
Depends how,
It's animation.
It's animation.
It's animation, but I mean
What's your
CGI.
definition of cartoon?
I feel like it depends how you use it.
Cartoon is
Like an
generally
explosion
for
in a
children.
movie.
So, for example, like
Cartoon is generally for children.
this. So, I guess this is
A
kind
certain
of
age group.
this is the one that just popped in my head because we saw Freak Out last night. No spoilers, but like Dan will get this. Like, for a certain character in that movie, that's not cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, towards the end. Like,
Yeah.
That's not really cartoon.
That's
that's CGI.
Poorly done CGI.
It's CGI, but it's not like it's realistic and it's like
Catchphrase.
Oh, is it like the guy in Star Wars? Tarkin? Is that it?
Yeah, like that. That's a good example.
That
too.
looked horrible.
I think
in
that was
Rogue
actually
One.
pretty good.
I think it was actually.
That looked
Wow.
horrible.
I think
The
It
CGI,
is.
the CGI in Rogue One wasn't bad.
No,
No,
it
but
really
that
wasn't.
one character
I didn't
that
think it was
they.
that
I
bad.
thought Leia was a little bit worse than Tarkin was.
I honestly,
Leia was worse
I
than Tarkin.
honestly,
Most
just seeing it in
assuredly.
theater, I guess I thought Leia was better than Tarkin because he was on screen a lot more, and
I thought it was great.
I think he looks like a character that they just ripped out of the Polar Express and was like, here you go.
I legitimately I thought it was so good. It took me a while to I was like, I thought this guy died.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no. I'm
The
dead
second
serious.
I saw it.
It was much closer to what he actually was in life,
Like-
at that time, though.
Yeah,
so it was
took-
much closer
it
to
literally
what he
took,
was.
It literally
Yeah, but,
took me
like,
a little bit.
Leia, they had to really reconstruct everything.
The
Yeah.
first time I
That's
saw
why
it,
it looked more
I immediately,
CGI.
Yeah.
immediately was just like, that looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so bad, and I don't know, because I knew he was dead, but just something about it. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that is off. Just
Yeah.
looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't look good. It looked like a Polar Express character just plopped into Star Wars, and I didn't like it.
Well, you didn't like that movie in general, so
I loved Darth Vader in that movie.
you didn't like that movie at all. Is what you're saying?
He made a pun, and he had the coolest.
Did he?
Yes.
Don't choke on your aspirations.
As he's force choking a guy, he tells him not to choke on his aspirations, and I thought that was hilarious. But no, then Darth Vader at the end of that movie, when he's just standing there with his lightsaber glow. I mean, just him, kicking butt in that tunnel.
Yeah.
Dude, that is one of the coolest scenes I've ever
Goes
seen in
back
my life.
to my original theory that Jordan just likes lightsabers and not Star Wars.
Very true.
I agree with this.
Very
Because
true.
I actually really love Rogue One. It's a pretty good movie.
It's
It was
actually-
really well done.
It was
It's the
fine.
Halo reach of Star Wars.
I would agree because I don't like it more than the original stuff, but
Mhm.
Yeah. But you get why I said
Yeah,
that because it's literally
I
the
do.
same type of story.
You're not wrong, actually.
you're setting up.
So where would you put ODST? What would the ODST of Star Wars
I
be?
don't know. We're not. Let's not get into that. That's
That's an entire conversation.
that would be
in
like
of itself.
extended, in TV shows and stuff.
yeah.
Like Clone Wars or something?
Probably.
Probably yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Just since
Or
we're going
like
to
the
make...
beginning of Clone Wars would be ODST because
Well,
some
we've
people
gotten-
loved it, some people hated
Kind
it,
of gone a long ways off the original topic.
and then it got better.
We have. I feel like we should move on. I think musicals are not good because of that. It immediately takes me out of the movie when they start singing. That was my topic. That's all I wanted to talk about. Let us know in the
Hit
comments
or miss. Usually miss.
what you think, because I am actually curious to know if they are on my side or if they more take yours guys' side.
With the exception of High School Musical and those that are like that, musicals are great. They rock.
See,
if
and I...
you
They're
are-
music to my ears.
If you are in the minority like me and like High School Musical, let us know too. We'd love
Don't
to
come
know.
back.
Give this video a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up if you like High School Musical, and give this video a thumbs up if you hate musicals altogether.
And if you're somewhere in the middle,
Still like
give a thumbs up.
If you're somewhere in the middle, drop a
So-
comment and let us know.
If you're like me, just give us a thumbs up. All right, Logan, what's your topic?
All right. So
Do you actually have one?
yes, I do.
Okay, because I hit go live, and
Very
Logan was
last
like, "Oh
minute.
crap,
No,
I
like,
still don't
yeah.
have one."
So no, yeah, I was. It's been a long week. I just started a new job, so I kind of didn't really have time to think of one. But as we were sitting here, I was thinking of one, and I was watching a lot of Pokemon theories today, and I was like, this kind of got me thinking about it. And this one is something that these guys don't have to prepare for. So my question is, what do you want to see from the next Pokemon region? Like, what area of the world do you want it to be based on?
America.
So, if I'll kind of run down what we have, what's based on now. So Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn are all based on Japan
Yep.
and Sinnoh. And then
Alolan.
Unova is America. It's like New York area. And
Isn't
then-
it post-apocalyptic almost? That's a theory.
Is that
right?
black and
yeah,
white?
it's a theory. Yeah, black and white.
Okay, see,
So black and white. Yeah, black and white's based
I
in,
should
like,
probably play
New
that
York,
then.
like New York area.
Or like,
And then if you play the
post-terrorist attack.
like Coliseum XD, that's the Ore region is in like Arizona. What else? And then Alola
Alola,
is
Hawaii.
in Hawaii. And then
So there's actually a lot from America.
yes, yeah,
I
Sword-
just knew
Sword
the
and
Hawaii
Shield
one.
is
UK.
yeah.
yes, UK, and then
Yep.
Kalos is France. So
Ooh, yeah. Terrarius is Australia. That would be actually kind of cool.
that would be really cool.
Get a
So-
kangaroo Pokemon.
So out of like the
Or
ones
an
we
emu.
don't have, yeah, I think
I was
Australia.
going
would
to
be
say,
the legendary is an emu. It's the strongest one of the game.
has impenetrable defenses.
you cannot defeat the emu Pokemon.
good. You know, I wish now that Pokemon would go like.
She's not here right now.
I know she's not, but I
What
still
if
have
it
to
was
say
like
she'll watch it later.
they
Right.
retcon that Arceus was actually made by an emu? That's the egg. The egg of creation was laid by an emu.
That'd be beautiful. I'm 100% on board with that one. No, I do think though that there's definitely a couple that I would love to see. Australia being one.
Yes.
I also think that kind of a Nordic setting would be like up in like
That would be
Scandinavia.
sweet.
I think would be really really cool.
That would be sweet.
I think like I don't know, an ancient ruins like Rome, Greece, Egypt kind of thing.
Oh, that'd be
like
awesome,
An
yeah.
Odyssey, like Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed Odyssey.
like
type
an
thing.
ancient ruin, like civilization
That would be
where
awesome.
Pokemon still exist. You
Hey,
know,
and-
but it's
Looking
that
like
would
we
be really
could
cool.
Maybe
That
get
would be.
that since Legends Arceus is coming out and it's
and DLC could be
back-
like Atlantis or something.
it's like back.
Ooh, that'd be really
Ooh,
cool.
I dig it.
That's a really good idea.
Nintendo, come to me for your ideas.
That would be really
Big
sweet.
brain right there. No, so I still, no matter what though, I think my number one would be probably actually like Norway, because I've always been fascinated with Norway. I've always been I've always wanted to go there.
Mythology.
Dude, I love it. And I think having a Pokemon game kind of go base on that would be the coolest thing. And I don't know if maybe you guys don't fully agree. I can imagine like some Viking themed Pokemon, would be so cool.
Well, we got
Or-
one right now from Galar. The Galarian Mal is a Viking Berserker.
Berserker.
Yeah, but that one's ugly, I think. I don't know. I don't think that's a cool design. But otherwise, like the Team Rocket, I guess, would be maybe like some Vikings that are trying to conquer the world, like they're coming back.
That would be cool.
And you have to fight them off.
No, like thinking about like a whole region kind of
Trying
like,
to make Armageddon happen.
I'm down for it.
That'd be cool.
Well, then again, I thought all the Vikings were in Minnesota.
So it takes place in Minnesota.
America.
Oh man. I think
I love that. I love that, dude. That's my favorite
That's
line from
funny.
the Pokemon movie. I love it.
that's funny. I think if the one that we haven't talked about, I think Australia's probably my top one.
That is a really good
But Costa Rica would be awesome.
one. Ooh.
I love like I went to Costa Rica on my junior
Now,
year.
wouldn't there be too much water?
Well, I mean,
That's what happens though when you get into it. All those islands are essentially the same thing,
yeah.
like Alola or
That's true.
I feel like that'd be
know,
really similar.
Costa Rica,
That's
Fiji,
true.
Fiji, Jamaica, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just an island,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like every one of them. So I don't know. You have to put a spin on it somehow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's true.
Ooh, Amazon rainforest.
I was actually
Like-
going to say somewhere in Africa or something
Well,
like
that's
that.
kind of
Like
yeah,
if
but
you
I
did-
guess Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire
Hoenn is kind of a
kind of
rainforest
is a
area.
that's a
If you did like
rainforest.
an island like that, you would have to throw in, like I said, like I don't know, a civilization kind of like the Maya or something.
Dude, that would be
Something
dope
has like
though.
some sort of like ruins on it. Maybe there's like the archaeological type of quest line with someone, the big bad, whatever team it is, jumping and trying to find stuff.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? That would be a cool idea. They do a Madagascar region, and it's all about the evolution of Pokemon. Because isn't that where Darwin started his theory of evolution?
No, that's Galapagos.
Yeah.
Islands.
Galapagos, my bad. Yeah, it's
I was
like
gonna
I was gonna say, it wasn't
yeah,
Madagascar.
That was not
Yeah,
Madagascar.
you're right.
When you said that, all I could think about was the cartoon movie.
I know.
Madagascar.
That-
was
my
thinking
mind
penguins.
immediately.
That'd be
And
funny.
I like
No,
to
the
move
Galapagos
and
Islands, like an island themed around that, and like that's where the root of Pokemon evolution started. Like that would actually be cool.
That is
That's
kind of
where
neat.
Arceus did everything.
That would be
Yeah.
cool. Have they said with Arceus like what the theme's gonna be, or like do you think that's gonna be announced on Wednesday,
Yeah, we'll definitely get some details on it on Wednesday.
or is that only gonna be Diamond and Pearl
No, it's
remake?
both. It's both.
Is it both?
Yep.
Okay.
So, it's set a good bit before like the main games. Like I think hundreds, maybe even thousands of years before. I know it's
Oh,
like
wow.
ancient Sinnoh.
So this might actually be your evolution thing would be in this game, you think?
Maybe. I mean, it's Sinnoh, and Sinnoh's not really known for study of evolution.
But if it's thousands of years before.
Well, it's not. I guess I mean I think it's just hundreds, but I know it's
No.
it's before like they discovered, a lot of the Sinnoh Pokemon. It's like the first civilizations in Sinnoh. So like that's why when you watch the trailer, you don't get to pick through Turtwig, Piplup, or Chimchar. It's a bunch of other ones because they don't know what those Pokemon are yet. Like, these people are just colonizing Sinnoh, and so Sinnoh Pokemon are just, like, they don't know what they are yet.
That's going to be a really cool game.
Oh, 100%.
Have they, now, obviously, you might not know this, and you might have told me before. Is that going to have any sort of a multiplayer component?
No, it is completely single player.
Okay.
It is, 100% single player.
Okay, because I haven't looked into it
So,
really at all.
Yeah, so since it's that long ago, you actually just have to use nets and, like, rope to catch Pokemon because there's no Pokeballs,
And then you have to train them.
Put saddles on them.
Actually, have you seen the trailer for it, Dan?
No, I haven't.
It's
a good
crazy.
thought,
Like, you're like walking around and you can throw Pokeballs just at Pokemon. Like, you can just lob them at them and it hits them, it catches them. It's like these ancient, like, they're like wooden Pokeball, like steampunk balls. They're really cool.
Okay,
That's gonna be
works, but
Yeah, we'll have to show you the trailer.
That's gonna be kind of neat. I don't know. I think we're getting a little off.
Yeah.
Your topic, but yeah. So the thing with the Norway one, I'm gonna stick with that because
that's a good.
I think the mountains would be really cool. Like, there'd be a lot of dragon Pokemon and stuff, hidden in the mountains, and I feel like that'd be really cool.
Dragon, electric,
You can,
interesting ones like that.
yeah, like you'd be able to base some of the legendaries off of the Norse gods and stuff.
Which what I was just thinking of. What if they made, since they make a lot of like
The legendary's got to be like a Raven Pokemon.
Oh, dude, that'd be dope.
Sick.
or
For Odin.
That'd be super cool. Yeah, 100%.
So what about
And they
they
could
make
also
a
have
Pokemon
like a Gleipnir horse or something
That's-
like that type.
that's like a hammer? Because they make a lot of like inanimate objects Pokemon now. Make a hammer.
I feel like those are the lazy Pokemon.
Those
They really
are-
are.
I like. Some
I don't
of them.
like those.
I like
they,
some of them.
they seem like they're kind of trubbish to me.
So moving on.
But no, that would actually be really cool.
You could even take the whole ancient civilization ruins thing to
Yes.
the Norway,
Yeah,
Yep.
like the Norse kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the way they gotta go, because that gives interesting story. It gives interesting locations from like normal, like future, present kind of stuff, and like making it even cooler with old, like ancient stuff that you can find within that.
yeah.
And,
And then
I don't know. I think that's a way to go.
there's also something you could do as well, because was it? I haven't played the game, but I know that is it. Oh crap! What one is it? Is it Sun and Moon, where you can go into ultra space or whatever?
Yeah.
So being able, like, they've already had in canon games that there are multiple dimensions or something.
Oh yes.
So
Thousands of.
That's-
so
literally-
well, here's the thing. Like with the Norse one,
Uh-huh.
go into like, that's where the legendary's at. Is in the Nordic, like
Valhalla.
Valhalla. There you go. I couldn't think of the
No,
word.
yeah, so-
You have to go to Valhalla, and that's where
you have
the
to fight the Valkyrie Pokemon.
yeah.
That'd
That'd be
awesome.
so cool,
That'd
wouldn't
be
it?
awesome. Yeah. So canonically, Pokemon.
Every save file
Every
is a
separate-
different.
every
universe
save
in
file is a
Pokemon.
different universe, and there's different timelines. It's a crazy thing, and actually, it's like the link cable that we used back in the day. I guess I never used it, but know
I
you
still
guys
have
did.
one in this
Yeah,
closet.
That's canonically a thing in the games. Like, there's NPCs that talk about a link cable as an actual device, and
Well, they talk about everything.
it's
weird.
literally like Pokemon. It's crazy. Like, the lore of Pokemon is insane. Like, I would love to go in depth about it at some point.
Even just like start off with Red. Like the lore of Red is crazy.
Yeah, because like
Oh yeah.
it's actually like a big thing in Pokemon is like they're self-aware that it's a video game, and there's like hints of that. Like, so if you do, it's an event called the Sinjo Ruins for, I believe it's Heart Gold or Soul Silver.
Okay.
You can't do it anymore, but basically what would you do is you'd bring an Arceus that you got from, I believe, the Sinnoh games. You bring it up to this place called the Sinjo Ruins, which is a connection between Sinnoh and Johto, was Sinjo. And he would create either Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina for you. Well, when he does that, there's like real world pictures that pop up, meaning that Arceus gets his power from the real world. Like he's actually, you can almost say he's like a coder.
Or he created this one too. I
Yes.
think is a theory too.
That's
But-
kind of neat
yeah.
though. I didn't know that.
So yeah, like I said, Pokemon lore is insane, and the Nordic idea would be really cool to add to that lore.
They go crazy into it too with the the Zinnia like DLC.
Yes,
They do
the Delta
They
episode.
talk about.
That's
weird
what I was
stuff.
telling Jordan about that, because they're doing the new set Evolving Skies for the TCG, has some Zinnia cards, and like her with Rayquaza is one of my favorite ones now that I want to get.
Which, by the way, speaking of Evolving Skies, Dan and I were discussing, we are going to do a pack battle either here on this channel or on my YouTube channel. I don't know what one it's going to be yet, but we're going to do a pack battle somewhere. So keep an eye on my Twitter, and we're going to be opening up 36 packs a piece and seeing who can get better pulls out of the booster boxes.
I want to do this.
Then get a box.
Save your money, man.
Yeah, I need to start saving.
You
I
need to
will at
save
some
some money.
point. We'll do a pack battle at some point.
For the 25th anniversary,
That,
I'm picking up a ton of those booster
yeah,
boxes.
I don't know if I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know
able
if
to.
I'm gonna get too many.
I would
of
love
those.
to get some, but I guarantee they're going to be impossible. to
If
find.
I can get them, I'm going to. I want a complete set for the 25th anniversary.
yeah,
That's my goal.
We'll see. That comes out
October.
October.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be dumping a
Evolving
ton.
Skies is.
This like
I think the
next-
27th.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I think it's the
26th.
26th or 27th. Or
yeah,
it's
it's next
basically in a
It's
week.
got a week or so.
Yeah, it's next week. So keep an eye on my Twitter for that, and I will be posting somewhere. But we are for sure going to be doing a pack battle.
Yeah,
We'll stream it on Twitch, and then it'll get cut up and uploaded to YouTube.
yeah. So, yeah, that was my kind of off the top topic I thought of.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have any other ideas.
Okay, so just to kind of summarize, I want to see Nordic. You want to see Australian, which I think I want to see both. Like,
I think Australia, or like even like just something, maybe like even since Costa Rica's kind of, just like Hoenn or Alola,
Yeah.
and since maybe like a Spain or something. I want to see like a lot of Hispanic culture into.
Speaking of Hoenn, I want to see a remake for the Switch of Emerald.
We're not gonna get that.
That's just what I want to see.
Yeah.
Or the ability in a future game. This is totally off topic, but I want to see a Pokemon game, kind of like what they did with Gold and Silver, where you can go to the other region. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see multiple regions in more games coming up if they ever decide to bring that back, which I don't know if they will.
They might.
But I think that Hoenn would be a perfect one.
Yeah. I think if the only thing we'll get from Hoenn for the future, near future, I'd say it's probably like maybe a port from the Switch, because I know towards the end of the 3DS's life cycle, they ended up porting Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then Gold, Silver, Crystal.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll do that with Switch. I don't know.
I mean, we're talking about Nintendo, so probably not,
Yeah.
because they don't do anything smart.
Yeah.
Like, they could make millions off of the sales
Oh, trust
of
me.
these games.
This is a whole other topic. Their whole
We've talked
online
about
thing
this.
is ridiculous right now.
Yeah, which we have talked about it.
Yeah,
You're right.
and
We
like
have.
the fact they still don't have Earthbound drives me nuts. It's a cult classic from Nintendo. It's my favorite game, and they can't put it on Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah,
All they do
it's-
is remake Mario and Zelda, dude. Bet you know this.
Well, no, it's like
You're not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wrong.
That's the part that I hate, is that you're not wrong.
that is true. But
And their online store is just pure garbage.
so
Once again, you're not wrong.
I'm usually not too wrong about when I come to Nintendo, but
yeah, so that's kind of my topic. Let us know if you guys have any other ideas. That's kind of just the Nordic one. I never thought about that. That'd be sweet though. That'd be really sweet.
Yeah, that's the first one in my head.
I
I'm just like,
I
that
like
would.
the kind of ancient Greece type region. That would
any
be
sort of
sweet.
ancient civilization, you know.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
It's got some
The
sort of
Elite Four is
ruins.
in the Coliseum.
That would be cool. Even though I guess they kind of did that with Unova. It's kind of a
Like
coliseum.
an arena, the
Yeah.
arena or whatever.
Mm.
I think
But
so. A little side note.
But this is to the
kind of
death.
goes along with this. Do you think we'll ever? So we have 4 regions based in Japan. Do you think they're ever going to go back to Japan
I'm
with
sure.
a new region?
I mean, they definitely will at some point.
You think so?
It'll just be a different time period for Japan.
Yeah,
Obviously,
well,
it'll be
I guess Sinnoh.
yeah, like they
I'm talking
100%.
I'm talking a brand new region based in Japan.
Here's what I'm going to say. Japan is the region they know best.
Yes.
So they're going to bring it back eventually just because
Yeah.
that's what they know.
At some point in time, it definitely will be. It might not be now. It might not be for the next 4 games, but at some point, eventually, they 100% will.
Yeah.
They definitely haven't covered all of Japan yet.
No,
they're
that's-
close.
Not yet.
Their regions are close.
They're close, but they aren't there yet.
There's a lot more to the island that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very true. But I feel like that's a completely different topic for a different day. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you guys are fine ending, it
Yeah.
is 8:20. So
good.
That's fine.
we definitely have been going for quite a while. So I guess we will end it here. So guys, thank you so much for watching episode 14. If you have a Twitch Prime sub, feel free, use it here. Helps us out a ton. We're gonna be using all the money from ads, bits, subscriptions, whatever, it will go straight into a separate account, and we'll be using that to help buy gear to make the show better for you. So if you would like, feel free to use that Twitch Prime sub here. Much appreciated. There are still 5 Founders badges left, so if you want a Founders badge, go ahead and snatch one of those up. There's only 10 available total.
I'm a badgeless founder.
What's that?
I'm a badgeless founder.
That's true. The only one of us that has it would be Tim, and he's not even here. So you get the Founders badge, and I guess you're out. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. Absolutely love every single one of you. We'll be live again next Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time for episode 15 of Uncalled For. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Chase with 5 more bits. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, kind sir.
thank you, kind sir. I can't see what one is ending over here, so if I just click on a random one, it might be this one. No, that's not it.
Starting.
That's starting. Is this? That's podcast. That's in game. This one must be ending.
Yeah.
So I think that's right. We don't have Tim here, and it's really difficult by myself from this far away. I'm looking at a 24-inch screen. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's been a blast as always. Bye bye.
Peace.
Take care.